Well, I have decided that I am going to bite the bullet and attempt. Well, not really attempt. I'm going to buy Baldur's Gate in the future, basically. Not today. Not. I've got some banking difficulties to resolve and deal with since cyber fraud's completely out of control, and trying to buy it from Steam is giving me shit presently because my bank is interfering with the transaction, and I've probably already spent too much money, so I should curb it for a while. But they are giving me trouble about it. So when I get more money, I intend to spend it and everything. One of the reasons why I'm buying this one instead of just outright pirating it is because I want to reward financially the company itself for doing and delivering what it is that I want. I there's something that I should get up physically and try to find, something talking about these things, but this place is a goddamn mess. Jesus. Fuck my life. Right. I just needed to show you that. I obviously would not have that book in the first place if I wasn't and hadn't gotten to the point where I found a crew of 7 people to play with via meetup.com and everything, and was coordinating with people and everything, and I've got a new set of dice and everything, and have been playing with them at a tabletop TTRPG world and everything. Square Enix isn't giving me what I want anymore, and I'm not on Twitch, I guess, because I don't. Well, I mean, when I play a game on my computer, I don't necessarily want to be running Twitch at the same time because I want to maximize the resources that are going to the game. So you probably won't see me on there, even though I could be on there, But I'm thinking that I'm probably going to buy Baldur's Gate 3, and maybe I will go on Twitch when I'm playing it, blind. I might, and the thing is that I'm doing it because I get to hurl my wrath down on the market, at this point by actually spending money on this game, some of this, because it's not, I don't pirate anymore because I'm broke. I pirate because, I don't, well, I mean, if you can get something for free, why not? But, every now and then there's a game that comes along that I find myself feeling the pressure to buy simply because it's a way and it's a means to vote against what I don't want, basically. And I'm tired of it because I feel like Final Fantasy was a series that got invaded by people who were not willing to accept that Final Fantasy wasn't for them. They didn't want to accept that, so they were going to constantly bitch and moan that it was, it wasn't the turn-based, it was a turn-based system. It wasn't the action-based, fighting system that they wanted it to be, way back, they've been doing it for a while, and this break from tradition that started with 15 at this point, and now it's continuing going forward with 16. This was because of the petulant whining of a bunch of Western gamers who didn't like, turn-based combat. And my response to that is, you've got action RPGs. You don't need Final Fantasy, Nier Automata and a whole bunch of other competitive games. Why do you have to try to take Final Fantasy specifically from, the people that were in the West and fell in love with their original, and have been playing them, since the beginning. I played all the way 1 up through 10, and then 11 even, which I built a PC to play. And then, I skipped 12, probably because I was still so caught up in Final Fantasy 11 when it launched that I just didn't have time to play 12, and I never have gotten around to it. But then I got bored and quit, and, my life changed. I was living with some people and ended up playing Final Fantasy 13. I felt kind of meh about it, but it wasn't, for a Final Fantasy, it kind of felt a little bit meh, but it wasn't, so bad. And then 14, I tried to play for a while, but I found that I didn't like its combat system. Even if that was what everybody was found all the rage these days, it wasn't for me. And rather than try to burn Final Fantasy 11 to the ground because of that, I just was like, let other people enjoy this. It's not for me. I'll still look at the let's plays of this game in particular and go look at other people playing it because this game in particular, I like the storyline to it, but I'm a gear snob. I don't like to do MMORPGs unless I'm able to have like a decked out set of gear, and the progression system for getting the best set of gears in that game throw me into situations where like I have to pull my own weight in doing it, and I can't effectively. I'm not very good at it. It's a skill issue, I will admit, but since I suck so much at those kinds of combat scenarios and everything, I just, I mean, I suppose if I wanted to, I could try to practice at it to death, but I don't want to do that. I just want something that I can play. I don't want to try to force the issue and change myself until I'm able to actually. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, do the practice makes perfect shit with, 14 and everything to get into being useful in those end game, savage runs and everything. I'm just not interested in actually doing that. And, even if it were potentially possible, the investment of time, it's just not worth it for me to, the way that I feel about it, to spend my time doing that. And so I tried 14 out and it was like, well, it's not for me, but I do like the storyline behind this game. And then 15 came out and it was like, I hate the story and I hate the fucking combat system. 16, I've got 16 I'm not so negative about. Like I'm like, well, it's a step in the right direction, but that direction we need to go much further down that road. you know, at this point. But Baldur's Gate 3 has a way of me it empowers me to say that there are a lot of people screeching in the United States that about and groaning audibly about turn-based. Fuck them and their feelings. I love turn-based and I wish those people would just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Accept that, if a game is turn-based in that kind of way, it's not for you, and accept that, you've got a preference for one thing and other people might have a preference for another. I prefer turn-based. You prefer action combat. That's fine, but we have a difference of opinion on this one, and the thing is that I get to vote with my wallet and to hurl more wrath down on SE and everybody else by financially rewarding Narian Studios for, producing a turn-based game that I, wanted to play, and giving me what I wanted instead of, listening to the loud screeching, mobs that were basically groaning audibly every time something happened to be turn-based. Fuck those people on their feelings. The game, not everything should have to be about them or made for them.